Hi, my name is Aaron. This is my show, Re-Education, and today I want to talk about. Today I want to. Okay, just a second. Sorry, it's a bit hard to communicate a message when you're wearing a mask. Hi, my name is Aaron, and this is my show, Re-Education. And today, I want to talk about Antifa. So, Antifa is basically an action group. They are, for the most part, a bunch of anarchists, socialists, Marxists, that sort of thing, that want to make a difference. They're people like you or I that, for the most part, want to try to get out there and actually, make change. And they tend to do it in a couple of different ways. There are a few ways that Antifa groups are constructed and how they decide to do their activist work. And sometimes they can be super beneficial, and sometimes I feel that their strategies are a bit unconventional and possibly not helpful. So it really depends, and we're going to get into it. So, violence. It's wrong. It's always wrong. It's always been wrong, and you can never be violent. It's always going to make people hate you. The thing about violence is that when you are violent and it gets picked up on by the media, you tend to look pretty bad. It tends to make the majority of people look at your group and think that you are a bunch of crazy people who they want nothing to do with. So obviously, that's bad optics. The thing that a lot of Antifa is known for is punching Nazis. Now, punching Nazis, I'm not going to necessarily say is a good or bad thing. I'm going to leave that up to you to decide if it's a good or bad thing to punch Nazis. But what I would say, and I have covered this in other videos, is that when you punch a Nazi, the optics, considering Nazis all wear suits now, is that you are a thug criminal with a mask on, punching a guy wearing a suit. And that looks bad. When you put it on mute, that looks bad. Richard Spencer getting punched. Better every time. Looks bad. It looks bad. It looks bad to most of the people that are watching. They don't think, hey, that's Richard Spencer, a known neo-Nazi, let's punch the shit out of him. They're thinking, oh my God, there's this nice strapping young lad who's wearing a good-looking suit getting hit by this violent thug. That's the way that they look. So when you see Antifa on the news or on the media, and yes, I'm trying to use all the different ways to say Antifa, when you see them on the news, that's the message that you're being portrayed, is that they are violent criminals. And that's not the message that they should be having, considering that Antifa is a net good. They do so much good in the community. Almost every community that they're in, they usually try to do a lot of good. The thing about Antifa groups is they aren't the kind of thing that go out and have anti-racist protests. They usually go to racist protests and try to stop them or agitate people within them or, generally create mayhem and try to stop them from being there. But the people that make up Antifa groups are often local activist groups. They're often local people who see that there are Nazis marching in the street or that fascism is rising, and they've made a conscious decision, holy shit, this is probably a bad thing, we could do something about this. And so they do. So they get together, they dress in black, they wear their masks and their helmets and all of their things, and they go out and they try to make a difference. The unfortunate thing about this is that a lot of leftist groups are disparate. They are not connected. They do not have any kind of organization system. So it's really easy for them not to go and do action properly, or at least do it in a way that is not necessarily beneficial. So that's why you see things that are completely useless happening, like them shutting down post offices, or having people go around and smashing windows in like a local business that's owned by some guy who barely can make ends meet as it is. So when you have a bunch of people that have good intentions but have no direction, that's what you end up having, is a bunch of people that create mayhem, create chaos, and generally look bad when they're being videotaped. That's not all Antifa. Fuck, I know tons of people that are in Antifa that know exactly what to do and know exactly how to organize and know exactly how to make real change. But they're not the ones that you see on the news, because the news media is never going to portray a positive image of somebody that wants to bring down their fucking comfortable little bubble, their little state that allows them as rich billionaires, millionaires, CEOs, and fucking business executives to be able to get away with murder, get away with doing whatever the fuck they want to whoever they want, and continuing to destroy our world and our government and our economy until we're literally fucking burning to death in a fiery inferno brought on by their pollution and fucking devastating climate change. So that's fun. Most people think that that's probably a bad thing, and they come to the conclusion on their own that fascists are going to destroy the world, that capitalism is helping fascism destroy the world, and that the people that are marching in the streets saying that they are Nazis should either be hit or converted. I personally think converted. If you can, I always try to talk to them. I always try to engage in dialogue, because hitting somebody isn't going to make them change their mind. Hitting their message might. If you're able to talk to them, if you're able to converse with them, if you're able to have that dialogue, then you might have a chance on making that person see another way. As I've said before, a lot of these people want to get into this because it's the only thing that they've found that is strong, that is confident, that they know is different and that might bring change. They've never heard voices on the left that say, hey, listen, anti-authoritarianism is stronger than authoritarianism, and we're also way cooler and we have better symbols and cooler uniforms. So if we're able to get that message out there, that being on the left is funner and more interesting and way more awesome than being a dirty little fascist, then we might actually have a little bit of a better chance. But going around hitting people isn't going to fix that. So, and here's the last point about violence always being wrong, is that it turns your own side against you. It makes people that are in your group look at you and think, hey, this guy is violent and I don't want anything to do with him. So let's not, and then we're going to go on our merry day. So that's also a problem that arises when you are violent. Part 2. Violence is always necessary. So obviously this video ran a little bit long, so I'm going to make it into 2 parts. Stay tuned for that tomorrow. My name is Aaron. This is my show, Re-Education. Thanks for watching.